Hey, what's up? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching The Sit Down. Thanksgiving Day Parade is coming. Keltie Knight's going to be there for entertainment tonight. What's up? How are you?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Gotcha. Good to have you in New York.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting. It's cold.
It is a little
colder.
colder.
A little different than LA. I'm like, oh.
Anyway. What a great time to be here.
Yeah.
So what are you most excited about with the parade?
I love the parade. It's my 5th year hosting with Kevin Frazier, and we are like the funniest, most ridiculous 2 people on the planet. And the show never stops. If we're in the makeup room, if we're hosting the Thanksgiving Day Parade, if we're on Entertainment Tonight, it's always the same. Like, we just have this amazing chemistry and this friendship that is so deep. And so when we get to do these big events together, it's like, I was just with him this morning, and we have such a good time. So I think what we're excited to see this year is the fact that Miranda Lambert is our special guest on the parade. Nice. I love country music. I grew up in the country. She has a brand new album, and so she's going to be performing 2 songs. One of the songs is called Settling Down, and it's about her new husband, who she met here in New York City, where we are. He was a New York City police department. I guess
like an officer,
like an officer, yeah,
like
our I think he might be a supervisor.
Gotcha.
He was outside one of the morning shows, and she was walking in, and they caught eyes.
Wow.
That's how they met. So this is like a full circle moment for her in New York City and us. And I think the biggest thing we're just really watching right now are these winds that you've been having in New York City. I don't know, like the crosswinds.
Yep.
And so those cause major issues with the big balloons during the parade. And so each balloon has its own sort of wind watcher meteorologist that like has a wind meter with them, and they see what these crosswinds are at, and if they need to pull the balloons down, if the balloons will even fly.
Right.
The last time the balloons didn't fly was 1971, so we've been on a really good streak. Yeah, so we're just hoping that that we have a good Thanksgiving parade.
So what have been some of your favorite memories of doing the parade the last few years?
You know, for me, I grew up in rural Canada, and without fancy Hollywood parents, and then somehow made my way into this job. And I really feel like when I look out and I see the parents lining the streets, and yes, the big balloons and the celebrities are so fabulous, but when you see like Spirit of America Cheer or these amazing marching bands from schools all over the nation, and you know the hard work that went into those kids fundraising to be here, keeping their academics up, rehearsing like crazy, the local newspapers that would be like, we're sending our kids to the Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. Like, it's such a big deal. And it's cold, and the parade route is long, and you see the pride in these kids' faces to say that they got to perform in this parade. And that every year really, really warms my heart, because I'm also freezing cold, because we're out there for like 5 hours. But I just think that's a really special thing that New York City gives these kids, and no matter where they go, if they end up being Lizzo and playing the flute professionally and winning Grammy Awards, or this is their senior year in school and they're never going to touch an instrument again, like, this is just such a special memory for families. And I always have special guests every year. I had my family from Canada last year. I had family from London the year before. This year, my makeup artist's, longtime makeup artist's son, William, has been asking to come to the parade. He's been too small, and this is going to be his first year.
Now he's old enough, he's ready to roll.
So I'm like going to love seeing the parade through his eyes. I mean, I'm working the whole time, so I won't really actually be spending any time with him, but have a great parade, William. I hope you enjoy it.
What would be the biggest surprise that people don't realize about the parade? Because it's one thing to watch it on TV, but I feel like it's a totally different thing to experience it live.
I think just how big the balloons are. Like, yes,
they're monstrous.
When you see them flying, and you're like on TV or the pictures growing up, and you're like, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. And then the Pillsbury Doughboy or the Red Power Ranger like comes down, and they're as far, you know, maybe from me to this curtain or me to the other me, and they're so close to us, and you just can't even believe that this is happening in New York City. And that's what makes it so grand, and that's what makes it so exciting, and that's why millions of people from around the world come to line the streets of Fifth Avenue to watch this parade. It's just mind-blowing. How does that even, how are you even doing this? And it's just so exciting. And I feel like in a world that is constantly filled with bad news, this parade is a little bit of a break from that. It's just so festive and happy, and it's just amazing.
Speaking of that, what's it like building out Entertainment Tonight? Because you mentioned there's so much stuff going on politically and a lot of bad news in the world.
Yeah.
What's it like to just be able to focus on celebrities and like all the crazy stuff there?
Well, they have their own kind of bad news.
They do, certainly so.
For sure. There's always a breakup and a divorce and a, you know.
Or a meltdown somewhere.
Or a Kevin Hart car accident. I mean, God knows we cover enough sad news on ET. But I think for me, I really look at it as I want it to be an escape. I want our viewers to spend the time with me every night and get to just laugh and feel like even though it might be a mom and she's cooking dinner and she's doing laundry and she's dealing with 100 things and feels so uncool and she's been wearing leggings and a ponytail for like 6 days, like that we can still bring a little bit of glamour and fabulousness to their lives. And that's why I love to focus so much on our good work stories, which is when we go around the world with celebrities and how they give back. And I focus a lot on fashion because I love fashion and I'm wildly uncool. So I love to just see what the celebrities are wearing. And I think there's something dreamy about seeing these red carpet looks and being like, yes, I hated that $10,000 Dior dress. Oh, it was horrible. Like, meanwhile, I'm wearing leggings. You know what I mean? There's just something so fun, and it's really an escape. And we do share a lot of sad news and hard news, but there is that level of excitement.